a lot of people want to kind of give up and say it's too hard after the first couple. But I would say you got to have like 3-4 months kind of in mind before you get your first or 1 or 2 deals. It took me probably 3 months of just actively like 8 hours a day, just hunting for deals. I mean, I got tons in escrow, but some of them, I got them locked up too high, or seller ended up getting kind of squirrely. But I would say just give it 2 to 4 months, and just hitting it hard every day. Hey.
Leslie, how are you going?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
I've heard great things from Jim, so I'm really excited to talk about things. Just to get started, where are you located?
I'm over in San Diego.
Oh, you're in a hot market.
It's competitive, yeah.
How long have you been in real estate investing?
Going on like 6 years now. I've had my real estate license for about 4 years. So for the 2 years before that, I was kind of just doing acquisitions and kind of learning the game. But yeah, about 6 years now.
Oh my gosh, you're like a veteran. Like you've seen a lot of things in 6 years.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. I know you said you have your license. What is your like bread and butter? Do you do everything like buy and hold, wholesaling, MLS or anything like do you do everything, or do you focus on one thing?
Sorry. No, I'd say our bread and butter, I have a business partner. Our bread and butter's wholesaling probably. We'll take on like the juicy flips, the ones that have a nice profit on them. But yeah, I'd say probably wholesaling. No, yeah, we actually do. So what we do, our business model is actually, we like to wholesale, and then we go ahead and we take the relist on it too. So we'll make like a relist commission, and we'll also kind of get some leads from it, hopefully farm the neighborhood a little bit. But yeah, our bread and butter's charging a wholesale fee. Just last week, we charged a $110,000 wholesale fee. So yeah, that was the biggest one yet. So that was a good one.
Was that a DealMachine lead?
No. So we'll get into the DealMachine lead. It's an interesting one. I got that one. I got the lead last week, and then I signed the contract on Monday. So it was an interesting one. So it was like Wednesday of last week, I got a text from the seller or the owner, and she's like, "Hey, what would you pay for this house?" And it was my first lead from DealMachine. So I was like, I thought it was a wholesaler hitting me up like, "Hey, what can you pay for this?" And I just texted them a number real quick, and they're like, "Hey, that's way too low. I need 520," because I offered them 465.
Okay.
And she's like, "That's too low for me." And in my mind, I was like, "Oh shoot, she's the seller." And I was like, "Hey, we should meet up. I think there's a couple different ways I can get you some more cash for your property." So I hopped on the phone with her, and she's like, "Hey, just full disclosure, my house, there was a death on the property." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. I mean, we deal with that all the time." She's like, "No, but someone got shot and killed in our driveway, and there was a drive-by, and there's bullet holes all in my house." I was like, "Okay." And then in my mind, it's like, I'm going to switch from being the buyer and wholesaler to let's just list it and double end it and get a commission off of it and make a little bit of cash. So went there, met with her. I mean, I think within like 10 minutes, she's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to sell." So I got the listing agreement out. She signed it right there, and we're accepting an offer today.
Hey, you told me this was an interesting story. I didn't realize that it'd be this. This is the first for me to hear that it's an actual like drive-by. Literally died.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was in the house, and there's still like bullet holes in the wall, and the blinds that are there, you can see like little bullet holes in the blinds. It was super eerie and creepy, but she's like, "I just need to get out. I'll take cash. I'm just going to go buy another place cash," because she doesn't own anything on it. So we're just going to double end it and find her a new place and get a commission on that buy as well. So I think on this deal, we stand to make like 40 grand.
Oh, I
So
know it's not as big as
DealMachine,
your
40 grand.
it's not as big as your 3-figure or 6-figure one, but man, is that a good chunk of change.
It's
Ooh.
not bad. It's the first one. So the stats were, it took me about 1,800 leads to
Okay.
get there. So just about a month. I'm ramping that up now, but that first month I did about 1,800 leads. I had 2 drivers at the time. And then now I have about 7 drivers.
Wow.
One of them or 2 of them doing about 70 per hour. 70 leads per hour, and I'm looking at them and they're all legit, and they're going to neighborhoods like National City and Chula Vista where it's like almost every house would qualify. So that's how they're getting so many. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting more calls, more leads. I got this other one that I just wrote an offer on. It's 3 vacant lands near the border in San Ysidro, which is near the Mexican border. And it's 3 lots zoned for apartments. And I think I'm going to wholesale it to a developer. They're going to build like 50 units on it.
Wow. And that was a DealMachine one?
Yeah, it was.
Man, so we could just check in like every 4 months so I can get a rolling tally of like how many leads you're getting in. Are you reaching out to sellers? Because I like to ask, like, so you put in, you said 1,800 leads?
The first month I did. This month we're on track for like 4,000.
Holy, okay. That's a lot. Okay, awesome. That's perfect. I love it. What are you doing reaching out wise? Like, what's your cadence? Because people who watch this, like, especially if they're in competitive markets like yourself, you know, you really have to double down on a lot of that stuff. How do you reach out to sellers that you get through DealMachine?
Reach out to owners or sellers, people that own the property or already.
Yeah, sorry, the ones that turn into potential sellers.
Got it. So the owners on the property. So I think the data is always good to keep churning. So even in like a year from now, the leads I got last month, I'm still going to be dropping like voicemails on them. I'm still going to be dropping texts on them. But I think what helps a lot is how we got the second lead, and I just wrote the offer on it, and I think I'm going to get it accepted today. Wrote 3 lots of land, an acre each, for 2.4 million. Yeah.
So oh my God.
After they build 50 units, it'll probably be worth like somewhere around like 10 million ish. But yeah, so we'll see if we can charge a nice fee on that one. But what we're doing is I actually have someone that's on a dialer as well. So as soon as we get the leads, we skip trace them, we put them in a dialer, and then we go ahead and we call about a month later, giving away all my secrets, huh? But about a month later, we're just like, hey, did you get the mailer I sent you? Just want to make sure you got that. You know, if you're not interested, I'll go ahead and take you off the list, but just want to check in with you to see if you were interested.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of dabbling in. I think a month is kind of early. I think I'm going to start dialing on these owners probably after like 2 or 3 months, after they get a couple mailers from us. I haven't even gotten any calls that said, you know, screw you, stop sending me mailers. It's more like old ladies. Hey, I'm not going to sell my house. I'm going to give it to my son, but thanks. That kind of stuff. So it's nice. I mean, I've sent mailers in the past and people aren't very nice, but I actually had a couple that were like, hey, it's a really nice mailer. I like it. It looks professional, but I'm just not going to sell. So that was nice.
I mean, I'd rather get that than some of the calls I've had where they're like, I'm going to sue you for taking a picture of my property. And I'm just like,
oh yeah, for sure. Got a couple of those actually, not calls, but it was weird. It was on Facebook, and some lady posted, someone took a picture of my house and this guy named Wes sent me a flyer. And I mean, I told my drivers, I'm like, hey, if somebody comes out and asks you what you're doing, just say that you're taking pictures for a real estate investor and, you know, sending out mailers kind of thing. Because the girl that took the picture and logged the property, she kind of drove away all fast. And I'm like, probably shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, it's
suspicious if you do that.
Right.
Do you how many postcards do you usually send out? Like, what is your, do you have it going every 30 days? And if you don't want to tell people, you don't have to. I'm just curious for my own personal, like what, I've seen people do like 2-week cadence, then they make it go longer, or like me personally, I do 30 days, just for budgeting. But what do you feel like works for you guys out there?
Right now I'm doing the first one gets sent, and then 2 weeks after that, another one. And then 3 weeks after that, another one. And then like 2 months after, another one.
That's a good like ripple effect of things. Like it just keeps going.
Right.
I
Yeah.
love that they loved your postcard though. That's like my favorite thing to hear is like, oh, I picked your postcard when you know they're getting marketed to by, I mean, especially in the West Coast, like they have to be getting a lot. So that's amazing.
Mhm.
What would, I always like to ask people, especially since you're kind of a seasoned real estate investor, like what would be maybe like 2 things you would tell someone who's starting out in real estate investing that you kind of wish you would have known or had a mindset difference?
I think the main thing that kind of sets apart someone that succeeds and someone that doesn't is probably keeping motivated and losing hope. I mean, deals fall apart all the time. I mean, I've had way more deals that fall apart, blow up and just crumble rather than closing. I mean, it's a crazy ratio. Like my first couple months I had just deal after deal just doesn't work or something happens, but a lot of people want to kind of give up and say it's too hard after the first couple. But I would say you got to have like you got to have probably like 3-4 months kind of in mind before you get your first or 1 or 2 deals. It took me probably 3 months of just actively like 8 hours a day just hunting for deals. I mean, I got tons in escrow, but some of them, I got them locked up too high, or seller ended up getting kind of squirrely. But I would say just give it 2 to 4 months, and I mean, just hitting it hard every day.
I love that. And how are you feeling with going from like 2 drivers to 7? What would you say to someone who's like wanting to ramp up and hire drivers? What's been kind of the hurdles you've had to deal with that?
Um, I mean, with that, it's probably finding people that actually want to put in like decent hours per day. It's hard to find people that actually want to put more than like an hour or two in each day. So once you do find the person that's slaying it, hitting like 50 properties an hour, and I think it's going to be coming down to probably picking up quality over quantity and probably paying those guys a little more. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a base pay and then a commission on each deal closed, which seems to be pretty motivating for them. But I would say try to find the quality guys and pay them a little more.
How do you, I'm going to ask you all the questions I know people are wondering. So pardon me if I start just slaying them out, but
No, that's okay.
how do you recruit them? Do you go through like Indeed? Do you go through Facebook? Like, how do you find them?
I mean, mainly just Craigslist. I just post an ad, and I think I got like 30 people that sent me their resume within like the first day. So I think it's the market I mean, obviously there's a lot of people out of work. So I think it's a good time to post a job opening and kind of just vet them out, get them on the phone and kind of see where they're at with things. But I mean, for me, it's like I'll invite anyone to drive, even if they want to do like 1 or 2 hours a week. I mean, it's worth it to have that many people on there. If they see a couple houses and they want to work for an hour. I mean, that's totally cool too. I tell my drivers, hey, you can drive full time or you can drive an hour a week. It doesn't matter to me. The more you drive, the more you make, kind of thing.
Yeah, I love that. I love the option because there are people who are like, yeah, I want to go full down. I want to do it the whole time. Do you have a quota for like hourly, how many they should be adding minimum?
Yeah, I did 12 minimum per hour. And
That's
then
what
to
David
kind of
does.
get them motivated, I say, hey, I mean, it takes usually, 1,200 to 2,000 leads to pop a deal. So, I mean, obviously the more you log, the closer you get to that, the closer you get to the commission. So I have that one guy doing like 50, 60 an hour. The deal that I just got the contract signed on, I told him about it. He's so hyped. So he's hustling around trying to get more. So it's perfect.
It keeps them motivated to just be like,
It does.
oh yeah, I'm definitely going out there. Do you mind me asking what the commission is that you split with them?
Yeah. So I told him on the first 3, it's going to be $500 a pop. And then after that, I told them, if they keep coming with deals, it's going to be $1,000 each.
Oh, that's definitely motivating.
Right? Yeah.
I would drive for you. I'd be like, yes, please. What in California, how much hourly are you paying them then?
$15. Yeah.
Okay. That's usually what we say, but I never know in some markets if that's motivating enough for people.
Yeah. I mean, I tell them $15 an hour, and I mean, they're stoked on it. So it seems to be a good little area. I tell them 15 to 18. I mean, if they're logging a bunch of properties, I'll bump them up to 18.
Okay. Do you have like a weekly meeting with them or anything like that? Or how do you, do you connect with them a lot, or how's that communication?
Yeah, probably like every other day. I'm kind of texting them saying, hey, I looked at the properties you logged yesterday. Good job. You're crushing it. Let me know if you need anything today, and kind of just checking in with them, making them feel good, making them aware that I know they're there, kind of thing. But it's turning more into like a business of handling this many drivers. It might come to a point where I need to hire an assistant or something to kind of keep track of paying these guys out and sending out the proper documents for them to sign and start. So it's definitely ramping up pretty quick.
Oh yeah, like when you said 2 to 7, I was like, holy cow! People try to get like 2, and that's it. But you just you added 5 more bodies that are motivated.
Yeah, I mean, I have 7 active drivers that are driving almost every day, but then I have like 25 people that are registered so they can go drive whenever they want. So I mean, I'm just trying to go big with it. Anyone that hits me up and says, hey, here's my resume, I send them a long email explaining exactly what we do. And I say, here's the link, sign up, drive as much as you want.
What is your partner? You said you have a partner. How do you guys split that up? Do you guys, as one person mainly, are you the main guy for the drivers, and then like your partner does a main portion of the business too?
Yeah, so we split it up, front end and back end. I handle all the acquisitions, the marketing, the lead generation kind of stuff. And then she likes to do the more traditional, she'll go list the property after. She kind of does the investor relations, but she'll do the dispositions. I'll do acquisitions.
Okay.
It works pretty well. Last year we did 87 escrows. So we're gonna probably, we're on track to do over 100 this year, and hopefully DealMachine can push us even higher. I think it will. If it's already like this, if I triple, quadruple the leads, it's in the numbers that I should be able to pop a couple a month.
Yeah. And especially if you keep growing your driving team the way you are, like that for sure is going to happen. Like I said, we'll be having you on a webinar here, like lickety split with those type of numbers. I had 2 questions that just popped up. What were they?
Sure.
Okay. For your partnership, a lot of people, like, what would you say is something you have to be aware of, or what makes your partnership work? Because some people feel like, I know there's a lot of people that butt heads in their partnerships, or, what helps you guys make it so compatible, I guess?
Probably, to keep to what you're good at. It's like, I'm on the front, she's on the back. There's a fine line. As soon as it closes on the acquisition, then it's all her.
Okay.
So she keeps track of the renovations. She'll go check on it. She'll follow up with the investor. She'll get the property ready to list. So it's like, we don't overlap anywhere. It's almost like we're working individually, but then we split everything. Okay. So it's like, she doesn't do any of the acquisitions and I don't do any of the dispositions, just so it's not murky anywhere. It's just like a fine line of, hey, I handle all this, and as soon as it's closed, you handle all that.
Yeah, no, that seems like to keep it really clean. I like how you said that, where it's just, here you go. I won't step on your toes if you don't step on my toes. You got it working. What, so you said you'll probably do over 100 for those, like, what is your overall 2021 goal, I guess? Or goals of like,
yeah, I mean, obviously I have a financial goal to hit for income, but per deal, I mean, it's probably going to be, I just want to hit that 100 deal or 100 escrows in a year. Obviously they're not all acquisitions. Half of them are acquisitions, half of them are dispositions, but I mean, we get paid on both ends. So it's to have 100 escrows in a year, hopefully this year. And then, I mean, I want to, if I come across any really good deals, I'll probably end up buying them myself and trying to pick up some rentals.
okay.
So my goal is to hopefully have at least one rental this year. I've never really dabbled into buy and hold, but I mean, if I come across the right deal, I think it's smart too, especially with the off market straight from seller kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's if you ever want to, I can maybe hook you up with the CEO to talk about his buy and hold things, because David like that's all he does now is
Oh, cool.
So, and he does spurs and stuff like that too. So he actually owns like half my block, I feel like. So
yeah. Where are you guys at?
We're in Indianapolis. So I live in kind of the east side of downtown, and it's just like booming. And actually, I don't know who you talked to on our sales side, but Josh Johnson, he owns my house. I rent from him. So we're all very tightly knit here at
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I've been dabbling in with stuff out in Cleveland, like in the West Cleveland, the nicer area, some duplexes and stuff. My wife's family, they live probably 20 minutes from Cleveland, and her uncle's a contractor. So I think that's a pretty good setup. Maybe pick up a couple duplexes for 50, 60 grand each and rent those out. I mean, it's good ROI. So, I mean, I might pick up a couple this year. I mean, we'll see.
Hey, come over to the Midwest. That's why I get so like in awe of your guys' spreads on the West Coast, because it is such a bigger, yeah. Like you told me that, and I'm just like, okay, that's a lot over here. That's a lot. And so like, just and I went to school near Cleveland, so you definitely would find great. Actually, just the last person I talked to, he's also around the Cleveland area, and I was like, go by Akron University, like, and things like that.
Yeah.
Those will rent like crazy per room.
Even like Cincinnati or something. I mean, near the school. I mean, there's so many opportunities over there.
Oh yeah, and they're just, it blows my mind how small. Like David's first deal here in Indy, it was a $4 grand house. That's it, $4 grand.
Oh my god, that's insane. So was it $4,000? I mean, you'll see a couple of those on the MLS that they're like 10 grand for a house. You're like, oh, that's such a good deal, and then it's just like it's almost a tear down. So $4 grand for a house, that's insane.
Yeah, I think he ended up putting 60 into it, but he rents it out now per room for like 1,600
per room.
Yeah.
Oh, per month. Wow.
Per month, per room. Like there's 2 rooms in it, and it is a tiny house.
Oh my gosh, that's near a college probably.
We're not even near a huge university, so no. I like, it's just because we're a metropolitan city, and it's a very like it's around here, so it's very diverse with a lot of gentrification. So David kind of hopped on that before it even happened.
Wow.
So it's kind of,
and he's probably got some crazy equity in the place too.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
So cool.
I can't even. And he bird a couple and stuff like that, and that just blows my mind, because you end up not having to put, like, you basically come out with money after even you put money in. That just, again, real estate investing blows my mind. The fact that you guys you got a call last week, you've already signed it and closed it, you already are about to get another offer on this one.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost textbook perfect on that. She literally texted me, what can you pay for this? And then I actually had to rope her back in a little bit. The first time she's like, hey, let's meet Monday. And then that morning she's like, hey, today's not going to work. Let's meet next Monday. And because there's an ADU there and there's a tenant in there. And she's like, the tenant, he's gone. He locked his property up. So we can't see the inside of that. And I had to kind of finagle it and be like, hey, you know, I just want to come talk with you, kind of check out what we can see and kind of go over your options. And she's like, well, all right, we'll just come over and we can chat a little bit. And I mean, if I wouldn't have kind of reeled her back in, I mean, it would have been another week and who knows what would have happened. So it's like there's almost money to be made in every lead. It's like, no matter what kind of lead it is, like someone, like the second one, someone hit me up about their vacant land. I was like, well, I mean, we don't really do much with vacant land, but I mean, I feel like there's money to be made in almost every property that wants to be sold.
That's amazing. I'm so excited for you guys this year, and especially that you're with DealMachine, because would you down the road, I know Jim probably asked you, would you be interested in doing a webinar with David?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because you guys, you have so many similarities, and I so many people are interested in knowing how to like run a team, and like
Right.
you've scaled it, and you have so much knowledge from even real estate, just all over. So I know that our members would love to hear more from you. They're already gonna, I'm telling you right now, they're gonna hit you up after this video.
Really?
So if you're okay with that,
Sure.
they're probably going to, you know, I'll put where they can find you and everything like that. But thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I'm sorry, I'm about, you know, I don't want to take up your time too much.
No worries.
But I want to get you and your partner some swag for DealMachine.
Okay.
And I'd love
Cool.
to get your wife some, right? If
Yeah.
swag.
Yeah. Let's
So
do
would you
it.
guys like, you want a hat or a shirt?
Probably a shirt. No, sorry.
It's okay. I get it.
Yeah, probably a shirt.
Okay, I'll get you 3 shirts, and what
Okay.
I'll do is I'll send you a link, and it'll comp it all out at the end, and then
Okay.
you'll be set to go. But in return, I need a thumbnail of you, or a picture of you, so I can put it on a thumbnail.
Okay, let's do it. With the shirt on, or what are we doing?
No, you can just send me one of your professional ones. It's fine.
All right.
Or a selfie. I mean, I do take selfies if you want, but any
I
picture
got a
of
couple
you.
of headshots. I'll just send you my most current headshot.
Perfect. Yes. And if you need anything, let me know. But also any way you want people to like connect with you, just send me any like IG handles or anything like that, and I'll be happy to put them in the description.
Cool.
But thank
Yeah,
you so
sounds good.
much, Wes. And please keep in touch. Keep me updated on all the deals.
Will do. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Wes.
All right. Thanks. I'll talk to you later.